What's going on, guys? Ben here with Strong Insurance. Today we are going to discuss ELD devices, why they're so important, and why they play such a major factor in your insurance premiums. So ELD devices are mandated by the FMCSA. You got to have them in any truck that's new enough to run these devices. They're there to create accuracy of logging, reduce paperwork for fleet owners, and improved safety overall. And they've proven to do that, unfortunately. So you're stuck with them. They're not going anywhere. When it comes to ELD devices, there's lots and lots of options out there. I would venture to say 50 to 100 different ELD providers out there. Everyone knows the big dogs out there. We've got Motive, formerly Keep Truckin'. We've got Blue Ink Tech. If you haven't checked those guys out, I'd definitely look into them. Azuga's making waves. They're doing really good things in the trucking space. And then Samsara's, one of the OGs out there. They've been doing it a long time. I see most of the large fleets with either Motive or Samsara. So definitely some good options. We've got some links down below. If you want to learn more about any of these ELD devices, feel free to do so. Blue Ink Tech does have one thing that's really neat. They have air scales that you can put on these. Now they only work for Class 8 vehicles, but they give you a kind of a rough idea, or pretty close idea really, of what you're weighing when you load up before you hit the road. So definitely check those guys out. And then as far as, the insurance side and ELDs, telematics are going to be the way of the future when it comes to insurance. These insurance companies are going to use these telematics to determine how safe your fleet is, whether they're, how deeply they're tracking that is dependent on the company you're with. Some of them can track, 400 different points on these trucks. They know when the driver's side window's down, when it's up. They know when your blinker's on. They know when you're braking hard. They know when you're accelerating hard. They know when you're turning corners hard. They know everything. They know when the truck's been idling for 2 hours. I mean, they can pull a ton of data. But it really is the way of the future when it comes to insurance. It seems like it's the only way to guarantee really, really good rates right now. There's a lot of incentives when it comes to the insurance standpoint, as far as having an ELD and connecting it to your insurance provider. And there's some carriers at this point that won't even insure you unless you have either ELD with forward and inward facing cameras, or ELD with outward facing cameras. They're all starting to require this stuff. So when it comes to selecting an ELD, I mean, you can pick one of 100. There's a ton of options out there. But at the end of the day, in our opinion, you need something that's easy to use, that's cost effective, and that has good driver adoption. If you can't get your drivers to use these things the way they're supposed to, then it does no good. If you don't know how to use it, if the ease of use is not there for you, then it does you no good. And obviously, if it costs you an arm or leg, then it doesn't do you any good either. So making sure that you are selecting one that works best for you. I can tell you all day that I like this one or I like that one. But at the end of the day, and you can listen to your buddies and they like this one or that one, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't work for you, then it's not the right ELD device. And it's extremely important that you know how to use your ELD device, your inward and outward facing cameras. I can't tell you how many brake check claims I have seen go in the driver's favor because they had outward facing cameras. I know people hate these cameras. I know they hate them outward, and they hate the inward facing even more, but I've seen it stop texting and driving incidents drastically. I've seen the correct call made on who's at fault in a rear end incident because someone got brake checked. Historically speaking, that was the trucker's fault 99% of the time because there was no way to prove it. Now we have camera evidence that shows that this idiot got in front of me and slammed on his brakes because he had road rage. So at the end of the day, yes, I get it. They suck. The government's tracking you, this, that, and the other. I mean, look at your cell phone. They're following you wherever you're going anyways. So it's just another piece to the puzzle. There's definitely better rates to be had out there. There's definitely proof in the pudding that it does create safety and better performing fleets overall, which relates to cheaper insurance rates. So I'm all about them. I know that no one likes them, but they're here to stay. So make sure you've got one you know how to use, make sure it's affordable, and make sure that your drivers know how to use it. If you have any questions on any of these ELDs, like I said, we got some links down below. You can also reach out to any of our TRIP certified agents here at Strong Insurance. And if you want to continue to learn more about trucking insurance and the trucking industry as a whole, feel free to give us a like, follow, or subscribe. And as always, keep it rubber side down.